Welcome to Raleigh Roots, a podcast about living, working, and raising a family in the Triangle. Join hosts Kate and Catherine for lighthearted conversations, stories, and interviews about what it is really like to live here. Whether you're thinking about moving to the Triangle or have already planted roots here, tune in and listen on your favorite device. And now your hosts, Kate and Catherine.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. 2026, baby. Raleigh Roots, we are going to have an awesome year for you. Thanks for joining us. Kate, how was your holiday?
It was excellent. We were plagued, like the rest of the area, with the flu and sinus infections. But aside from that, it was very nice. It was relaxing.
Good. For the love. I know everybody's either had bronchitis, COVID, the flu. And by the way, if I cough through this, I'm sorry. I did not smoke 12 packs of cigarettes before I drove here. We're all getting it over with. So then we can knock this off and we can truck on and maybe we will not get sick the rest of the year. That's my goal.
That's a really great goal.
Yeah, it probably won't happen.
It's lofty.
I'm just gonna, say that. And then when I get sick next, you'll be like, you failed at that goal, sister. So we had a good holiday too. Busy. Stayed local. John Wall tournament was fun.
Yeah, a lot of folks went to that. I heard that there was a line out the door. You could not get in.
Yeah. So if you are not from Raleigh, the John Wall tournament is a basketball tournament that brings in high schools all over the country. And John Wall is a basketball player himself. And this tournament has become such a big deal. Recruiters come, college coaches come, and it's pretty fun. And it starts the day after Christmas and runs for about 5 days. And it is a big attraction. So we did that. And then, we slept until, oh my God, like 10 o'clock some days. I felt like a college kid.
Did you sleep till 10?
I'm kind of embarrassed to tell you that I did.
Good for you. I can't do it.
Sometimes I'd wake up at 8 or 9 and then I'd go back to sleep.
Well, that's great. Good for you.
I felt like a lazy slob and I ate and drank like a crazy person too.
It's the holidays. It is. We were just discussing the dry January. Now, I did hear something about a damp January. Have you heard about this?
Oh, God. What? You can just still drink every once in a while?
I think so. The bartender was explaining the other night that damp January, you drink on the weekend.
Well, that's what I do during the whole year.
So you damp every month.
I'm a damper.
You're a damp drinker.
I'm a damper.
A damp drinker.
Yeah. But whatever floats your boat.
That's right.
You just...
Whatever works for you.
Yeah. I'm not a big New Year's resolution person. Are you?
No. What I started doing years ago that I love doing, I'll write out my intentions for the year. Something like, I want to see the mountains this year. Or maybe it's a work goal or a relationship goal. It just not even a goal, just something that I would like to see happen that maybe didn't happen the prior year. And then I fold it up and I tuck it away for the whole year and I don't look at it again.
Yeah.
And then
at the end
of the year, I open it back up to see how many of the things actually have occurred.
I like that.
It's a fun little tradition that I started for myself.
I like that. Well, I think New Year's resolutions are great. Gives you something to shoot for. They're great. I tend to be hard on myself because I'm like, why am I going to set this goal one time? Like, I just kind of set these internal things in my head to meet all year long.
Yeah.
But if you have them, good for you. We're going to root for you to do all of those resolutions for the whole year. That would be good.
We thought it would be a very good time to bring someone in today to discuss decluttering, organizing. I don't know if your house is like mine, but my ping pong table is covered with the Christmas decorations. We have moved them to one central location.
Yep.
But that's as far as they've gone. God, it's just overwhelming, right?
Yep.
And everybody's been home and the laundry. And so, clear mind, clear home. So we have a special guest today that is going to discuss ways that we can hopefully simplify organization.
Yeah, home organization. And some people make that their New Year's resolution. Oh, y'all, I cannot say the word resolution today.
Just call it a res.
Happy New Year. And what are your New Year's res? Our guest is awesome. She's been doing this for a while, and I hope you enjoy her and take away some things.
So enjoy.
Hey, and we are so excited our guest is
Yes, I'm
here.
excited to be here.
Ashley Bailey is a Raleigh resident. And how long have you lived here, Ashley?
Let's see, we moved here in 2003, so
Yeah.
20.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved here at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
a long while.
Yes, it's been a long
Yep.
I
while.
love it. I
Yep.
love it. And she is a professional organizer. And we thought for the new year, we would have Ashley on here to help us and give us some ideas on either staying organized, getting organized,
Yeah.
decluttering our lives. And as everyone knows, we talk about middle-aged women. Our brains are completely in left field or in 87 different places. And I used to be super organized, and I still am to some degree, but I've let some of that go. I'm 48. No, how old am I?
You're 48.
48. I'm shocker. 48. And I've realized if I used to have a closet that was all in place, I was like, yes, my life
You
is
feel
together.
good.
But now I've let some of that go.
Ashley, how did you get into professional organization?
I
Organizing.
have always loved to be organized, and that probably goes back to when my mom used to make my sister and I organize our Barbie clothes in Ziploc bags.
Okay.
But I attribute all my organization skills to my mother. So
I love
So I
that.
have always liked to organize. But I started doing this almost 3 years ago in March
Okay.
as a side hustle. So worked in corporate America for 25 years, and I was like, I'm going to come up with a retirement gig,
Okay.
And so I started doing it on the side because I thought, well, let me see if I even like it. I love to organize myself, but do I really want to organize other people, right?
Yeah.
And so I started doing that, and I loved it. And then this past May, I had some changes with work and decided to go all in. And so it's
Oh,
been
that's
so much
awesome.
fun. I'm super passionate about it, and I just love it. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
I
excited.
know.
That's
You're like,
exciting.
goodbye,
Thank
corporate
you.
America.
I kind of was. Yeah, it was
Ta-ta.
like, bye.
Yep.
And I'm just going to see how this pans out. And it's so far, so good.
I were to call you and be like, I feel like my house is a mess. I don't even know where to start. Tell me how you start a conversation and the top 3 things you would tell me. Let's focus on this to try to get your life kind of back in order.
Editing would be first. So when I say edit, I mean decluttering.
Okay.
Because what happens is people get all this clutter and they think, I'm going to organize. But if you don't actually go through the things you have and organize those, then all you're doing is organizing your clutter, right? You got to figure out, what am I actually using? What do I need? What do I have duplicates of that I don't, do I need, 10 spatulas, like kind of thing? Because over time, like, you're accumulating these things, right? And whether it's sports equipment or,
Kitchens.
supplies, whatever it is,
Phone cords.
Phone cords, a perfect example, right? You just you get the new phone, but you never like actually go and say, well, I don't need this one for the old phone anymore. Let me get rid of it. You just hold on to it.
No, but
If
it's true.
If y'all have
It's
extra
true.
phone cords, bring them to my house because we lose them every day.
I mean, I took a little plastic thing that
Excuse
my
me?
daughter got at a birthday. They put all these little candies in it.
Yeah.
It was cute,
Right.
organized.
Yes.
It was empty. I took it. I'm not kidding you. I filled it with cords.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we have like 11 from the iPhone back in the day.
Right.
But why? But I kept them.
But you
Why?
did because you were thinking like, oh, I might need it. That's one of
Who
the things
needs
people say. Like, I
11?
might need it. They're scared to get rid of things.
So what do you say
they
to
might
people
say-
like that?
I think it's like the question is when did you last use it?
Right.
Right? It's like, oh wait, when I had that phone, do you have that phone anymore? No.
No.
Like, and it's like, it's almost like when you get people talking about it and they hear themselves say it out loud,
Yeah.
then they're like, oh, okay, I get it now,
Smart.
right?
I like that.
So that's editing. So the first piece would be like declutter, clear out what you don't need, clear out what you really don't need to organize, right?
Yep.
The second thing, and this is real big to me, is a place for everything. So everything that you have needs to have a home. So you
That's
talk
good.
about, if you get new things, do you get rid of old things? It sort of depends. I mean, everybody's different. If you have a place for the new thing and you don't need to get rid of an old thing, then okay,
Right.
But
But
for
if-
example, if I have 3 shelves that are for sweaters, and
Mhm.
I get a new sweater, but I can't fit that sweater in there
Then that means it's time to get rid
okay.
of one.
because
Yeah.
that
know?
new sweater's not gonna have a
Doesn't
home.
have a home. I mean, I think
Uh-huh.
that's the big thing about just feeling chaotic and clutter.
Yeah, I
That's
like
really
that.
good.
Everything needs a home.
Everything needs a home.
Now
And if you say that, then it's like, oh, okay, then it makes sense. And it also makes it super easy to get things straightened up.
Uh-huh.
If people say to me, Ashley, your home must be perfect, you're a professional organizer, everything looks. No, I mean, I'm a busy mom that has teenage boys and a working husband and all the things. Um, so my house is chaotic too, but it does have a system in place where it's really super easy to just
Well, and
put
if
things back in their home.
so what do you do? If somebody calls and says, "Hey, I'm overwhelmed." Do you go in and do like an assessment of what they've got? You listen to their goals. Tell me how this
Yeah.
starts.
So the first thing we would do would have a telephone call. I call it a discovery call. So we would have a call and we would talk through like what you were wanting to have done. Let's just say you've just moved and you want me to organize your kitchen.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great example. Yep.
So we would chat about that on the phone. We would talk about your budget, all the things, and then we would schedule what I'll call an in-home consultation. So I would go into your home, look at the space. I could take measurements, and we can walk through everything and talk about your goals and everything at that point, so I can see,
And you see the
what you're dealing
space
with.
that
Yeah.
you're looking at.
Exactly. After the consult, come back, give you an estimate, and then we go to work.
So, do you go and get the organizational bins
yes.
and the storage
Okay.
things and all that? Do
Yeah,
you
so
do that?
So my
Okay.
process is that I handle all that. I mean, I'm the expert, right? There's a reason that you've hired me, because if you could run out to Container Store on your own and get these things, then you
Yeah.
would do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that part of it is
Taken care of.
part of the process.
And do you
Yes.
recommend certain brands?
It's hard to say. There's so many options. And so I've narrowed it down. So I'd probably 10 things that I like pretty much always take to a job. But I don't know that I could say I recommend like a certain brand or anything. It would be more like depending on the space, there are certainly specific products that I would say I most often use.
Yep.
That's good.
Yeah.
I feel like too, all the little kind of like the cute little products that they sell, right? For the tea bags or your
It's just-
coffee.
I mean,
But the thing is,
I
it's
love
great,
it.
but you're buying more stuff.
Yes.
Like you're,
Good point.
and I've done that in my pantry. And I've
Yes.
gone in and just been like, there's more crap. And now I have a whole little area of just empty plastic stuff
Yeah.
because I don't fill it and I don't have anything for it. And it's just sitting there. And it's stuff that didn't really organize. It
yeah.
didn't work. I couldn't keep it organized. You
Well,
know?
I think one of the one challenge that people have with staying organized is getting too specific on what they're
Ah.
organizing. So I think if you can kind of keep the categories broad and even the
Okay.
containers and things that you're using broad,
Yeah.
then it helps you, because what happens is if you get like the tea bag holder, let's just
Yeah.
say, and then it's like nothing else fits in there except the tea bags.
Right.
And then it's like, I'm not drinking tea anymore. So now I've got, like you said,
Yeah.
I've got this thing that
Empty.
can't use for anything else or whatever. It's like if you're a little bit broader in your thinking of the categories and the
So
containers.
multifunctional
Yes.
things that can
Yep.
be moved from room to room.
Yep.
And I think about the things that I had when my kids were small. I still have little organizational hubs that now I can still use, but they're, you want to be able to kind of grow with your kids,
Yeah.
right? Or grow
Mhm.
with,
Definitely.
if you have a sports tub or whatever. What is the craziest project or the funniest project you've ever had to
Gosh.
do?
If I have I don't know if I really have a crazy project, but I think the most challenging projects are ones where people are like,
Hoarders.
yeah, I mean, emotionally attached, I like to
Right.
say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it is.
Yep.
It's like people that just really have a hard time letting go.
I'm sure.
And so I think it's trying to be compassionate.
Or you want to be like, look, sister, you ain't
Yeah.
worn that, and that is from 1902.
Yeah.
You got to throw that shit in the garbage.
Exactly. It's
And they're like,
how
but
do
it was
you-
my grandmother's aunt, sisters.
And they need
Right.
to have it. I used to
People
watch
feel
Hoarders
guilty.
Could Breathe.
People
Yeah.
feel guilty, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think my message to the baby boomers out there is
Uh-huh.
your kids don't want your stuff.
So true.
I
So
mean,
true.
because that's what happens is like our
Yeah.
parents are starting to
yeah.
give us their things, right?
Right.
Kind of like, that's great that this was grandma's, but
It doesn't
you
go
know,
with my aesthetic. I have nowhere
like, I
for
don't
it.
even remember grandma using this.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's one thing if it
You're
has
just
has
keeping
a
it the
special meaning, right? But
Yeah.
just
just
the
because
same.
it belonged to somebody, like I think that's a challenge and can be funny.
And so, like all of our jobs, when you're in your job, you're like, yes. But when you go home, you're like, oh,
How am I going to tell this lady? She was
Yeah.
how
nothing?
am I
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you probably have to read the room.
Well, and I
It's-
do think it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's like if you can get them to say it out loud and they hear themselves. I mean, I can remember a client saying this to me. He said, "Oh, I just heard myself say that. That sounds ridiculous. We can get rid of it."
I like
Yeah.
And
that.
so I thought that was really
Yeah. Yeah.
an
I like that.
interesting point, but it was true. When he said it, it was like, "Oh, that sounds different."
So
It's kind of like if your mom tells you versus a friend, whatever.
You're kind of admitting, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've got a problem. The first step is admitting it, and
It
now
is.
help me get rid
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
You're
Yeah.
naming it. So
Yeah.
the 3 things we want to edit,
Edit first.
and then everything
And
should have a home.
everything needs a home.
And then the
And then the
last.
third thing, I kind of have like a 3 and a 4.
Okay.
But 3 would be sort of a daily drop zone. So having a place that you have just like your backpacks, car keys, things that you're grabbing every day. It might be a bowl on the kitchen counter. It might be, a hook on the back of a coat closet. It doesn't have to be a mud room that's fancied out with everything labeled, but just like
an
area that you're like, that's your go-to spot when you're looking for your wallet to leave the house or like whatever it is,
to make life easier.
Totally.
So I do have a question on that.
Okay.
I have tried the drop zone.
Okay.
And
And it becomes the middle of the floor.
well, yeah, and
That's
it also
ours.
becomes the island in the kitchen.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, my kids will walk past the cubbies
Yes.
and they'll take their backpack and they'll drop it on the floor and all their shoes on the island, like right by the island.
Uh-huh.
And they pass these things. And then at night we have to go back through or they just drop them by the front door. I mean, what do I do with this? And as much as I tell them not to, the other problem is then what they'll do is when they use it, but then they'll leave stuff there. They'll empty their book bags, drop everything onto the area, and then disappear. And then that's piling up with stuff.
Yeah.
The amount of stuff that these kids come home with, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I feel like I have drop zones
Yeah.
all over the place.
And it doesn't have to be one place.
Okay,
it
that's
doesn't
good.
have to be
Okay,
one
good.
place. And then you have to train them.
Yeah, and just keep going. Just keep trying.
I mean,
training boys are way harder.
hard.
I
I
guess.
know.
Nope.
I know. I don't know if I have like a 100% solution, but you can't. It doesn't have to be one spot for
Okay,
everything.
yeah,
It
yeah.
can be.
I mean-
And I think then maybe that's where like my 4th thing comes in,
Okay.
and then I think this helps like with families is labeling. I think if places have a label, and I just said this to a client yesterday, I said it makes it easier for the family to maintain the system.
And everybody, even all ages,
Everybody.
including the adult male figures in the house.
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
Which
That's
are kind
exactly.
of kids, right?
Yeah.
And women.
Yes.
And I do think that organizational tactics is truly individual. I mean, I have some girlfriends that are crazy messy and could care less.
Mhm.
And the men are the
Right.
very
Exactly. Yes.
organizational.
Yeah.
I don't think it's more men versus women.
No.
I think it is kind of your individual makeup.
Definitely. I totally agree. There's people that are maybe seem messy from the outside, but really kind of have it all together. And I think, one thing for me is that I really try to personalize how I organize people. It's not, here's your box of this is how we do it. It's
Yeah.
like everybody, you kind of have to figure out
Individualize it.
yeah, you totally do.
Yeah. So if somebody's moving to the area, let's say that Kate, Rockstar Agent, sells them a house. I'm doing their mortgage, and we're like, we are going to hook you up with Ashley. The name of her company is Everything Orderly, which I don't even know if we said that at the beginning, but
Well, that's okay.
Everything Orderly.
Yeah.
And we'll link all of this, of course. She has an awesome Instagram page so you can see examples. If somebody's moving in,
Mhm.
can they say, will you help us unpack and
Yes.
get every room ready?
I
Oh,
just did
wow.
that this week.
All right, tell us about
Yeah,
it.
so
Tell us about it.
this is actually a family that just moved from another area in Raleigh, but they moved into a new home, and they both busy professionals, young kids, and they were just like, we just don't have time to do this. We're ready to be settled in our home, right? For a lot of people, I say this to clients. probably the majority of my clients are actually organized people, right? They just don't have time.
I get it.
There are so many clients that I have that'll say, I can do this on my own, but I just
Yeah.
don't have the time, or I want it done
No.
quick, right? So this particular family, I went in and we're kind of doing it in stages because of just their schedules and everything. We did the kitchen and the kids' playroom, some areas that were needing to go quick. They're going to be doing a few cosmetic renovations and things, and then I'm going to circle back and like get the closets done.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can definitely do the, unbox your stuff and then get it put away in a system that's going to work for your family.
Yeah.
And will you label and
Yes.
Oh, that's
I mean, to
awesome.
me, labeling is, I probably should put labeling in the top 3, not
Yeah.
number 4, because labeling is what, to
Keeps you-
me, helps keep the systems. Labeling and the right containers.
Yeah.
No, I do have to say my linen closet is like I have queen
Yeah,
sheets,
yeah.
king sheets, mostly
It's not crazy.
pillowcases because I tell the kids I want you to help put up the laundry. But when they put up laundry in their drawers, it is like, let me stuff it all in
Yeah.
and ball it in just to
Yeah.
shut the drawer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you're not going to put the sheets up where they belong, then don't put them in there. But it does keep me organized. It
does.
really does keep me organized.
Well, and then it's just like if someone is helping you,
Yeah.
then they know, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe you have your parents come in town and they're
They
helping with
don't-
the kids or whatever. And like
it creates
then it's just easy. They're like, oh, that's where that goes.
It
And it
creates
keeps
order.
the system
Yeah.
in place.
moving.
It may be more work up front, but I think it helps long term, right? Like you
Yes.
said.
No question about it.
So what is messiest room besides a playroom? We already know a
Well,
playroom is usually messy, and that's
yes.
hard because kids are in a different world. But what is it a pantry? Is it someone's closet?
Yeah. Like kitchen and pantry, pantries probably are messy, but I don't think I love a kitchen and pantry. Like that's probably my favorite thing to
Okay.
organize, but it is the hardest thing to organize. If you're trying to do it on your own, it is very challenging. So it probably is a pantry space, especially if you have a family with kids that are, kind of in and out with the lunches and the snacks, and
Yeah.
you've got
Yeah.
boys and they're eating all the
Yep.
time and all the
Yep.
things. Closets can be like your clothes closets.
Mhm.
Those
Yeah.
can be challenging.
If you walked into mine, you might be like, honey, we got some work to do.
I think, you know what? I think it's interesting too, because I'll have people say to me, Ashley, I really want to hire you, but I'm too embarrassed.
Oh, I could see
You
that.
know?
Though. I could see
Yeah.
that.
It's like
yeah.
I'm too embarrassed. So like judgment free here.
That's
There's
good.
judgment free.
I know
You
that.
know?
That-
I mean,
and I think that's important,
yeah.
right?
I mean, it's just like, look, I'm here to help you. Like,
You're
there's
like,
no
if you didn't
judgment.
have this stuff, I wouldn't be having a job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The messier, the
Well,
better.
Exactly.
It's like an insight into their minds too, though, right? I mean,
Oh,
it
yeah,
is like
yeah.
you're opening up your home, you're opening
I
up
mean,
like
it's like-
all of your inner
it's
psyche of like, can't get this
everything.
together, or I should, but I can't. Yeah, I
And
can
then
see
you're
that.
then you're asking this stranger
Right, to
to
please
come into
come
your
out,
house and
go
like,
through my
and
things,
go through your
and go
stuff.
through all your
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Have you
I mean,
found
it's
any
like-
embarrassing things? Okay, maybe we shouldn't do that because they might watch the podcast. But,
They might listen to that.
oh, you're like, I went on the bedside table, baby, and
I've seen some things. I've seen some things.
that is funny.
my
I
gosh,
love that. We will
hilarious.
keep that for
Hilarious.
another show.
Well, I do want to know. So let's say I go get a new pair of jeans.
Okay.
Okay, that's I love jeans.
Yeah.
Is it right that I go ahead and donate a couple pairs, like one in, one out? How does this work? When is it just becoming something that you are now a collector?
Right.
Where do we cross over here?
I think for me, like, it's not really like a hard and fast rule, one in, one out, or two in, one out, or whatever. I think it's more about assessing what you have and saying, when was the last time I wore these? Do they have a hole in them? And that's not supposed to be there.
Right.
Do they fit?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean,
What
right?
happens if they
Right?
don't fit at
Right?
Christmas time or in
Well, I
January?
know, right? I know. Maybe you can give yourself a month or two, but I mean, I think it's that. Am I holding on to these because, like, when I lose 10 pounds, then these are going to fit?
Yeah. Then you want to get rid
Because
of
to
those.
me, it's like, let's quit beating ourselves up, right? Life's hard enough, and then you put those on, and then it makes you feel bad about yourself and all
Right.
the things, and then it just spirals out of control.
Okay.
Then you're
So I
sitting there
think
crying.
it's-
Just wanted to clean out my closet. Now I'm crying because I'm fat.
Exactly. So I think it's not really more I bought a pair. I mean, because especially if it's like, if they're things that you wear,
Yeah.
then That's okay.
So then how long would
But
you say, what's the length? Like, okay, let's say I haven't worn them in 4 months.
I do
6 months.
well, I mean, I guess jeans maybe are a little bit different, but I kind of do more like a seasonal thing. So at the end of a season, I'll look at my closet and say, what did I not wear that was in here? Sometimes I might take it out and put it in a bag, a donation bag in my closet, and I'm just going to say, I'll hold on to it for one more month and see if I'm looking for it. And if not, then it's gone.
Good
Or
idea.
if
I
there's,
like that.
yeah, if there are things that are hanging in there that you hadn't worn, I don't know the last time I wore this, maybe you don't give it away right away or
Yeah.
donate it. You just put it in a bag, and then in a month, and you set a timeline, right? A month, 6 weeks,
Okay.
whatever you want it to be. And then you
And
say,
I bet
"Am I gonna get rid of it?"
99.99% of the times you don't
You're
even
gonna
know.
forget about it.
Uh-huh.
You're not looking for
That's
it.
so
I mean,
true.
you're not looking for
That
it.
So the
is so
items
true.
that you think someday I will wear this, they need to go.
Yeah.
The someday I will
I
wear
think that
this
someday I'll wear
Yeah.
this,
or use it.
yeah.
Like an ice, we have this huge ball ice cream maker. I think we've
Yeah.
used it once.
Right, like that.
And I'm like, why do we still have this
Yeah.
thing? Like, we're not going
So
to use this.
ridiculous.
Some of
know.
these specialty things, I think about kitchen stuff, like the avocado slicer. It's like, that's a knife. You know what I mean? You don't need that. Like those, I mean, they're fun. It
Yeah,
kind of goes back to
yeah.
the tea bag holder,
Yeah.
right? That's the kind of stuff I feel like that people accumulate,
And you've
and
used it
you
once in
never
7 years.
use it. You use it the one day you
Yeah.
got it, and that's
Yeah.
it. You know?
Yeah.
That
yeah.
is so great.
Okay.
Speaking about donations, do you
Uh-huh.
have particular places that you recommend for donation?
Clothes, I normally go to Note in the Pocket.
Okay.
I take some houseware things, depending on what they are, to Green Chair.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a big proponent of Green Chair. And so if there's any kind of like furniture or things they can use, like they don't, they're setting up people's homes. So they want
Yes.
things that are in good
Yes.
condition and everything, not have to do a lot of work too. And then North Raleigh Ministries has a thrift shop up on Strickland. And I
Okay.
like to take things there too.
Good to
Okay.
know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that part of what you do? Will you help?
Yeah. I take all that. I take your trash off. I take your donations for you. Oh, that's all part of the
Sister,
package.
when can you
Mhm.
come to my
Yeah.
house? I mean, you might have to sign up for about 7
Yeah.
years, but
Hey, I got a membership program, so that's fine.
okay. Well, tell us
Wait,
about.
do you
Okay.
really?
I do.
Oh, what's that? Okay, yeah,
so-
tell us about
yeah,
that.
Yeah. So I just started doing this over the course of the last few months, but what I realized is I had clients, kind of back to the whole busy, right?
Mhm.
That they could maintain the systems, but they don't have time to maintain the systems. It's sort of like you hire the company to mow your grass or landscaping or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Like it's the same thing, right? So I come in and maintain the systems that I've already put in place. So it
Love
helps spread the investment out over the course of a year. It's an annual membership, and you get 10 hours a quarter. A lot of people right now are just using it for maintenance, but maybe you have a number of rooms you want organized, but you don't really want to do it all at once. You want to spread it out over time. So that's a perfect way to do that. And so I might come in the first quarter and do, whatever your kitchen, and then the next quarter do your closet. But you have 10 hours.
Interesting.
And then you can purchase additional hours at a discount. So it's the
Okay.
benefit being that it's less expensive per hour if you do the membership.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, so if you have multiple projects, or that it's something you want to maintain, that's a good option.
And when you price that out and you do a price quote, obviously you could line up, just like in the mortgage world, I could line up 20 people and everybody's going to get a different rate depending
Yes.
on their
Yeah, right.
credit score and how much
Yep.
they're putting down in their program and all that.
Yep.
And so you are not going to say, hey, I just have a blanket package. It's going to depend on what you need, what you want.
Exactly.
Okay.
After I do the in-home consult, then I'll give you your estimate, and then I think people have learned this about me, but I mean, I'm pretty open to conversation. So if you get the estimate and you think, I can't do all this right now, let's just do this, then I'm flexible to work
You'll
with you and
tailor
how
it to their need.
exactly.
I'm sure the reward in this is to see how happy people are.
Huge.
They're just so happy.
And it's interesting because the wife or the woman is usually the ones that hire me.
Yeah.
And they're thrilled.
Yeah.
But my favorite is when the spouse or the kids.
Oh, I'm sure the kids.
I had these little girls say like, "Oh my God, you made our playroom look so great.
Oh.
You found such and such. I
Yeah,
don't even,
right?
whatever." And then I can remember these other little guys who were just thrilled with the pantry and how the snacks, and they knew where their snacks were or whatever. And so that's really fun to see, because
Watch.
I think it also makes them want to
Stay
yes,
organized.
yeah.
And it
As the
probably
king, right?
teaches
So
them,
I think,
right?
but for the women, it's it's a load off. It's like UCLA did a study about decluttering and
Yeah.
how being cluttered increases your stress hormone,
I believe it. I
and
totally believe it.
more
Yes.
so in women. And so our cortisol is already all wonky.
Uh,
And then you throw that in there, and then we're managing the household. We're doing
Mhm.
all the things. I mean, no knock on the men, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
women carry
Well,
the
the
mental
chemicals in
load.
our
The clutter just makes it that much worse.
Yeah.
And so
Totally.
that's why I think that's why I'm so passionate about this, is because I know for me, my tagline with everything orderly is order begins at home. And I can remember when I was working in corporate America that if the house was in disarray and I had to go out on a sales call, my mind was not right.
So true.
Anyway, so it's interesting. It's a real thing.
I will avoid my upstairs because my day has already been so chaotic
Yeah.
that when I look at the stairs, I'm like, I'm not going up there
Yeah.
because I don't want to see it, because I know the playroom is destroyed and I know there is laundry scattered everywhere.
Exactly.
And I can't deal with that. I just have reached my max load.
Yes.
And I don't know if you do this too. Spencer's room, he's at college now. I don't go up there much anymore.
Uh-huh.
But when I do, oh boy, it is like the teapot is, blown.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, I don't understand.
Uh-huh.
How are you okay with this?
I know.
Yeah.
I have that at my house too. I mean, believe it or not, but I mean, and so I just have to close the door because I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? That's
Yeah.
your, you
But
have
there
to,
is-
until you're ready to be
Exactly
forced,
right. But most women are like this, I think, before you go on vacation.
Oh my God.
Yes.
The house has got to be.
Yes.
I want the trash out, the plants watered.
Yes,
I want my
everything.
everything done.
It's about walking in the door afterwards.
You got
It is.
Because you know you're going on
Totally.
vacation, you're going to go recharge, and the thought of walking into a home,
Just chaos again, right?
it would completely deflate me.
Oh, yeah,
100%.
totally.
That's
agree.
exactly right. But I think that ties back into having an orderly home. And we're all human. It's not going to stay that way forever. But to have some basic things in place that you can build on and work on, it does make your mind at peace. And I feel
Sure.
like I'm doing something right and now I can start my day, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think if you have the right system set up, which is going to be different for every
Mhm.
family or
Agreed.
person or whatever, then it's easy, right?
Yeah.
And like, if you are the person out there who is like, I don't even know where to start, just pick something small.
Yeah.
Take a junk drawer, take a drawer in your bathroom, set a timer for 10 minutes. And I just did a project for that long, and then I walked away.
I love it. Right.
I like
think
that.
that's I think it's like an easy way to kind of get started, because like there's, sort of builds momentum, right?
Yeah.
We want, and you see how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you're like, ooh, I'm going to do another project. I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Do you
another
do
one, another
garages?
one. I do.
Because
Sure
men,
do.
what about sheds?
Yeah.
Y'all, last night I thought I heard something like rattling outside, and my kid was like, do you think somebody broke in? I said, I hope the hell so. And I hope they took everything out of that shed with them. They can have it all. They can steal it. They can take it. I hope they pulled a U-Haul up and they took it. But that's good because men would probably like
Yeah.
that too.
I had a client who gifted her husband that for Christmas.
Oh,
So you
yeah,
do gift
he
certificates.
he wanted his garage organized. So
That's a great.
yeah, so I thought that was
that's a great
that was
gift
like
idea.
a good gift
Yeah.
idea.
we
for
could do
any-
that for closing gifts.
Yes, that's a great
closing
closing
gift.
gift.
Talking about moves, like we were talking about moving
in,
in,
but the
but
out.
moving out.
Yeah.
If you think about before you go boxing up everything,
Go
doing that
through it.
edit, decluttering and everything, you eliminate, so many boxes actually getting moved. It's kind of like getting home from vacation,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like when you get to the new house, you unbox everything you want.
Yes, yeah. I mean, that's always kind of been our rule of thumb when we're moving. It's the best time to go through things and really purge.
I feel like it's easier.
It's easier
Yeah.
because you know it has to leave and
Yeah.
you know you have to empty it out. But then every time, I just want the house to stay like this. And it doesn't.
I know,
I mean,
I know.
7 years
But I
later,
think
I go into my.
Life
Yeah,
happens.
I do think that's important to say that's normal. I have a little OCD in me. Some people would say a lot. Before I had kids, nothing was out of place. And you have to kind of shift your mindset depending on what stage of life you're in.
Things definitely shift, but I was the same way. You have to let go a little bit,
You
right?
do.
And I think, that leads to sort of a perfect segue, because I think the big thing about organizing is it doesn't have to be perfect. Just creating a
Mhm.
system that helps you feel calmer and
Better than what you have.
Yes. I think for some people, it's like, it has to be perfect, and it's just not.
Yeah.
Nothing's
And that's
perfect.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So we will link all of Ashley's stuff to our. Kate laughs at me. I call them all of our platforms.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to
Yes.
say because
Yeah.
I'm from 1902
I know.
myself.
Well, I'm with you.
My friends have used Ashley and they're like, it's worth every penny of investment. And y'all, we can't put a price tag on feeling good.
I mean, it is an investment,
Mm.
but I promise you it's worth it because just
It's a
for
mental
your
health.
mental health.
Yeah,
It is.
it
I
is.
mean,
It is.
I think January is a perfect time to talk about this because
Yeah.
you talk about self-care and
Yeah.
like organization is self-care.
You got it. Yeah. And same thing that you're doing with your, going to the gym or even,
Exactly.
your car maintenance, right? If you don't
And-
maintain your
yes.
car or your lawn, I mean, you're going to have problems later. So
Yes.
deal with it now.
Yeah.
I need to listen to my own advice. I sure
That's
do.
good.
And it's
That's why
winter.
we're talking
Now's
about
the
it.
time.
It's a
It's
great
cold.
time.
It's
It
dreary.
is.
January and February are typically boring.
Yep.
Get in those closets. Call Ashley. She can help you organize them.
People just
Yeah.
need somebody to say it's okay to get rid of it.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You need
So-
permission and
Yeah, you
somebody to
need-
hold you
yes.
accountable,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
And thanks
for
for
being
Thank you
here
guys for having me. I
today.
Thanks for
appreciate
being
it. It's
here.
great.
We hope you enjoyed our session today. If you are in a really motivated space and you want to try some of these organizational tools, come to my house. If you want to use me as the guinea pig, I'm totally open for that.
And y'all, we need some good, fresh ideas for the show, like guests. We're talking about maybe trying to find some true crime stories. I have recently started to see a lot of things about how haunted Raleigh is. So that would be something fun we could do. But if you guys have any great ideas that you would like to hear about, or if there's somebody who would like to be featured or come on the show, we would love to have you. Send us a DM. Email, reach out.
We will be back in 2 weeks with another exciting guest
Yeah.
that kind of falls into the January, let's start this year and be amazing and organized and healthy. So stay tuned and thanks for joining us.
Bye.